What is going on, guys? It's Gospel Gamer here, and we are back on Chaos Child. I disappeared to have like 5 minutes away from recording because I'm absolutely fucking boiling, which is probably why I was struggling to read stuff. However, let's continue. In his head, Shinjo went over the steps he'd have to take in time required to take them. Can it be tomorrow or no, the day after? That's my Shinjo. Glad we can work this out. I don't know how you managed around the rest of those hardheads in section 1. Alright, talk to you later. Hold on a second, Shinjo, would you? He barely stops himself from ending the call. Is there something else? I wanted to give you some advice just in case. 2 things. First, what I said before wasn't a joke, okay? Huh? Huh? You need to relax a little. Don't take everything so seriously. I'm sure a lot of things are about to happen that will be beyond your understanding. When that happens, your worst enemy is what you think you know. I'll make sure to remember that. If that was a serious answer, you still got a long ways to go. And the other thing is, Momose paused for a second and chuckled. Don't let my kid get the better of you too often. If you let your guard down, you'll end up an outsider to yourself. September 30th, 2015, Wednesday. Hey, did you see that thing on Twitter? Oh yeah, the meme from Hekio bot? The giant Noopa with a smug look on his face saying Shibuya Hikario says Shibuya should changed? Yeah, that one's really kind of sound. Could we use that for a culture festival? No one's going to look at a display with a history of Shibuya's recovery anyway. Is it enough to just have the picture though? We need to actually have stuffed animals or something. The male student starts to search through Shibuya's stores with his smartphone. He must have found something strange because he kept mumbling no way. Ito is recording the newspaper club's project for the festival. A bunch of random footage of the preparations in the cafeteria. Is this really the right time to be all excited over something like that, guys? Bodies has been found in Dog and Zaka yesterday, and all these students cared about was their stupid jokes. The body was found less than 10 minutes away from the school, but they barely even mentioned it. Oh, it really hasn't hit the news too much, but the first reports to be on major communications company's website. That was where Ito had seen it. It had been last night. It had made the morning news in the morning papers, but all that had been reported was that a body had been found. That no details were known. It was rare for a high school kid to check the TV news and papers every day. There was no word from Miyashiro. Ito was really worried about what happened to the Love Hotel, but he had no way of asking about it. Damn it. He took out his phone even though he knew he hadn't gotten any calls. Sure enough, there were no messages. He'd been doing that a lot since yesterday. He couldn't bring himself to make a call. He didn't know what to say. He didn't know what to say to a friend who'd been taken away by the police. The laughing students irritated Ito in a way that he didn't really understand. He'd been planning on videotaping the entire cafeteria today, but instead he gave up and left. You filming? Hope it's going okay. He went inside the cover and saw Kuruzu was there. Any word? Kuruzu's expression clouded for a moment. She shook her head. Nothing since then. I see. Wakui, the club advisor, had told him that Kuruzu had taken change of clothes from Miyashiro to the police station last night. She'd been told that neither Miyashiro nor Inoue were hurt. The police were probably going to let them off with a warning, and if they weren't suffering any after effects from the trauma, they'd be let go in the morning. But school was over. It was almost evening and there was no word from either of them. Ito dropped into his chair. Damn it, the school's so peaceful, barely anyone's talking about what happened yesterday. I see. I mean, sure, there are about 2 murder reports a week in Tokyo, so no, it's not exactly a new thing, but... Still, Dogenzaki's right next door. It's possible someone walks by that place on the way to school. Actually, I bet someone does. Maybe it's like he always says, and none of those people ever read the real news. Do you have any idea how obvious you are? Kuruzu chuckled. Huh? I don't know why I said hi in her voice. You're worried about the 2 of them, right? Ito started to speak, but then choked it back. Not really. Are you worried, Mr. Vice President? Ridiculous, she chuckled. I'm angry. This whole thing is ridiculous. Serikuri is one thing, but he ignored my warning and went in anyway, and this is what happened. He's making you do all the filming for the newspaper club too. No, I don't really care. That's not a big deal. It is. When you're given a job, you need to do it. Is this it? Oh, I can't remember what voice I gave him. Is this it? Oh, I gave him the posh voice, isn't it? Is this it? Kuruzu, what's going on with the budgets? Kawahara appeared. He was very out of breath. Huh? The budgets? The list of groups have gone over budget. Accounting says it's not in yet. Kuruzu frowned as she realised her mistake. Sorry, I'll send an email with a list. ASAP, okay? Before the teachers go home. Kawahara ran off before Kuruzu had time to answer. And before he was even out of sight, Kuruzu booted up the PC and started to tap at the keys. What? No, it's nothing. Which of us is more obvious? That's what Ito was about to say before he stopped himself. Normally it was impossible to imagine Kuruzu not doing her job. For a while after that, Kuruzu focused intently on her work. Ito didn't have much else to do, so he watched her. When he looked carefully, he could see small dark spots under her eyes. She probably hadn't slept. And then Ito realised for the first time, Kuruzu would probably... Oh, fucking hell, Siri. Why are you telling me the time, Siri? Kuruzu would probably come to the club room to see if either of them had contacted him. With all preparations that were going on, there was no other reason for her to be here. The Empress of all people, huh? Kuruzu pressed down hard on the final keys as she finished her task. And then suddenly an unpleasant sound filled the room. Hey. I know. They looked over and saw that Kazuki was nibbling on dried squid as she played her game, oblivious to everything around her. Ito had seen her come in after Kuruzu had started her work. He thought she might say hello, but knowing her, maybe not. He'd also seen her start playing her game. He'd been trying not to bring it up, but that was clearly impossible now. She must have been concentrating pretty hard. Her gaze was constant and steady. Ito sighed. She's always caught up in a little world, isn't she? Maybe she doesn't care about anyone else. Of course that's not true. She's a little stronger-willed than most people. Even so. She's still in the same club with them, he started to say, but Kuruzu stopped him with a raised hand. Shut down Kazuki's game screen. Evidently not. Huh? Kurusu chuckled and took off Kazuki's headphones.
Kazuki,
I'm not a big gamer, so correct me if I'm wrong, but is there a reason you're continually flinging fireballs at the side of a house? That fire's spreading really fast. Kazuki looked back at the screen with a stunned expression on her face. She yanked the headphones out of Kurusu's hands and quickly put them on and started to pound at the keyboard. Calm down and either swallow that squid or spit it out. What you're doing now is bad manners. Kazuki may not have heard her because she struggled with her game for a while, and then she froze like a toy whose batteries have run out. Oh fuck, I didn't mean to. Fuck. She stared at him a moment for almost 30 seconds as if something impossible had happened. Then she silently stood up, staggered over to the shelf where we kept the electric coffee maker. Her face turned pale. Kazuki, are you okay? Are you going to make us coffee? Kazuki nodded in answer to Ito's second question and started to make coffee with shaking hands. She made Kurusu her usual with 2 cubes of sugar, gave Ito a coffee mixed with milk, then she made a cup for herself, black, but didn't drink a drop. Her forehead slammed into the desk with a thud, and she became so quiet it was impossible to tell if she was breathing. See? Kurusu looked to Ito for agreement. She cleaned up Kazuki's squid. Wait, really? He took a sip from his coffee, not sure what to think. To him, none of this made any sense. Kurusu didn't say another word as she drank her coffee. Ito looked up from the black... Fucking hell, why is there so many noisy fucking cars going past all of a sudden? Ito looked up from the black sea and decided that this was a good time as any to ask. It wasn't that it was wrong, but still kind of felt awkward. Hey. What? Is there a reason why he's so obsessed with this case? Kurusu froze. She lowered her gaze as if searching for answers in her coffee cup. What about you? You seem pretty interested in it yourself. She seems to be trying to change the subject. I just like the stuff. This stuff? Weird murder cases and stuff, but still, running into a crime scene like he did yesterday was... That was going too far, he continues. Kurusu silently took another sip of her coffee. She seemed to be staring at a single point in the distance, lost in thought. It was clear that while she was seeing things around her, none of them held any meaning to her. Looking at her scared Ito a little bit. Was it really that big a deal? If you don't want to tell me. That's not it. I'm sure that basically Takuru's the same as you. He likes this stuff. And he's always liked getting involved in things that were dangerous. I see, Ito said. You two started living together in elementary school, right? Yeah, that's right. After a little after the earthquake, just to be precise. Just about the time when middle school was supposed to start. That makes sense. Kurusu and Miyashiro are both people called earthquake orphans. They'd both been in 6th grade when they lost their parents to the earthquake. Since they had no relatives to take them in, they'd been sent to the same group home, the localized small-scale children's welfare facility's Alba dormitory. Kids like them weren't common in Shibuya these days, but they weren't exactly rare either. Miyashiro had been so badly injured during the earthquake that he'd been put into a coma. He was still in the coma when he arrived at the dorms. The head of the dorm was also head doctor at the Aoba... Oh, fuck me, that... Aoba? It's gotta be Aoba. Aoba Clinic. Downstairs, and for a while that was where he was kept. Kurusu had taken care of literally all his needs. There were 4 kids in the facility. Kurusu and Miyashiro were the oldest. Since her birthday was earlier than his, she dubbed herself the oldest of 4 siblings and volunteered to take care of the other 3. Even back then, Miyashiro had a habit of being curious and getting into trouble. He's just a little brat, you know. He says all the time that he's different from everyone else, right? Even though that's not true. She spoke like a parent worried for a child's future. And I'm going to end the episode here. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, and do subscribe to the channel as I upload every day. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.